honestly feel like if you needed any confirmation that America does not like black women, the 2024 election is that for you.
Right.
Like, and people say, oh, it's not about race. This is 1,000% about race. Trump did not have a plan. He did not lay forth any policy. He didn't tell y'all what he was going to do. There was no next step, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. The only plan that he did lay out, which was Project 2025, he told you guys everything nefarious he would do.
And then said he had nothing to do with it.
And then tried to distance himself from it. So, I mean,
he did tell us what he was going to do, though. He told us he was going to deport. And people are with that. But some of the people who voted for it are going to be affected by it the most. And even for people who have, who's going to do certain work, for people that have these big corporations that hire, and they're going to feel the effects of that as well.
But you know what? I'm at the point that let them have it.
Right.
Y'all voted for him. You deal with the ramifications of
and the tariffs. People are realizing. There were people who did not realize that that's going to get passed on to the consumer. They thought the tariffs would be paid for by the foreign entities, just like people thought that, Trump thought Mexico was going to pay for the wall to get built.
Good luck. Everyone, I honestly feel like after this election, so many people, it's a numbers game. You saw that 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. At this point, we have done our jobs.
Yeah.
We did it. We delivered. We did what we were supposed to do. And guess what? Y'all wanted Trump. You can have him. Enjoy the next 4 years. Don't complain. Don't tweet. Don't say nothing.
Strong words from Dr. Wendy Osefo over on Angela Yee's podcast that was actually just released.
Shout out to both of them.
And this is a very common perspective that I'm hearing, from a lot of black women who get on social media and start speaking about their thoughts. So this actually is not unique.
It's typically those around those talking points. I think she brought up Project 2025, which is like that's been continuously brought up, particularly by black women. So, ladies, when you hear this, is Wendy stating the fact? And I want to get your general thoughts about what she's saying.
Well, no, Wendy's not stating facts. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Shelly.
No, Wendy's not stating facts. Wendy is emoting. She's emoting, number one, because the Democrat Party, Kamala Harris, lost. Okay? She's not stating facts. Trump has had a whole platform, and not only in 2024, but he had it in 2016 when he won the first time as well. This is a continuation of it. See, this is the problem when she said Trump has no program. Well, Kamala Harris didn't come out with a program for black men until about a month ago, before the election came up. This stuff that she invented out of whole cloth. Wendy Osefo, that's how you pronounce her name, I'm sorry. She's not telling the truth. Or let me say this. What she is saying, she actually believes that.
Right.
What she's saying, but it's still no less wrong.
Here's my thing with this. This is why we should have stopped this participation trophy crap when they pulled it out in schools, because no one knows how to take an L anymore. You lose, right? You cry, you get over it, give yourself 72 hours, you dust yourself off. You do an autopsy of that election cycle, figured out where you went wrong, make the corrections, and get back at it. I have not seen this amount of lamenting ever for any reason. It is boggling to me that people just don't know how to lose anymore. You lost, it's okay. But this thing with black women carried the ball, you voted just like every other American voted. No one asked you to pick up a candidate and drag them to the finish line. You cast your vote with a good conscience, just like the people who voted for Trump did. Politics is not a team sport. It's very individualistic.
To all my soldiers, we are knee deep in spiritual warfare, and Hardly Initiated has created some additional armor for the fight. The Fight the Flesh bracelet is a stylish reminder to stay disciplined in the face of battle and temptation. So click the link in the description and get yours today. And don't forget, use code CLIPS for 10% off. Let's fight.
You vote your conscience, I vote mine. If my candidate wins, good for me. And listen, the tax cuts that are coming your way, you better believe I'm tweeting about it, and you can have some too. That's how that works, right? The deporting of illegal criminal aliens, make no mistake, that's going to make it good for everybody. And if there's a man in your life or a woman in your life that's a trade worker, a plumber, or works in construction, more than likely they've lost a job, or they know somebody who's lost their job to a company that's willing to hire illegals for pennies on a dollar. This is how this affects our community. So it can't be all about they don't like Black women and they didn't vote for Kamala. Again, when Kamala ran the first time, y'all didn't like her. Democrats didn't like her and didn't vote for her. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. I need Black women to get back to being who we are intuitively. Yes, we're nurturing, but there is no reason for us to think that we carry the entire nation. That's not what we do. We've never done that. Let's not start.
KJ, I want to get your thoughts on this as well, and I want to add this to it. Do you think that sort of declaration, America doesn't like Black women, do you think that's harmful to future generations, or just to hearing that on such a large platform?
One, all I heard was tongue. Both of them have heavy tongues, and all I heard was tongue on that interview. That's number one. Number two, they're lying. And it's sad that the culture, which movies, Hollywood, church, everyone continues to push these lies to our community. So this is why it's important. Not only, and then another issue is, Black people in our communities, in the cities, the education systems in public schools are so poor that we're not even educating our youth in order to research this stuff. First of all, Project 2025 was not, Trump had nothing to do with it. We read it. We dissected the whole thing on our broadcast, Poppin' Politics on YouTube. We read it. It was a policy platform done by the Heritage Foundation, and they presented it to all candidates. Kamala Harris and Trump were presented with the Project 2025. It was up to them whether or not they would implement it in their administrations if they won. So,
KJ, can I jump in for just 1 second? As a Heritage member? Project 2025 is not a one-off. Heritage Foundation is a think tank. So traditionally what we do is we say, you have this blue sky moment. If you could do anything and there was no money associated with it, anything from being the most conservative person to the most liberal person, and write all of those policies and combine it, and it's available to legislators to come in and say, well, I don't really, abortion's not my topic, but I'll pick something middle of the road. It gives them a roadmap, some policy thought processes, talking points, if you will, to help them come up with policies that will work. So it's not new. It's not unique to 2025. Heritage has been putting out these type of projects for decades. It is simply what think tanks do. It's not new.
So have other think tanks. They do it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. But she talked about also how Trump had no policies. That's funny. When Kamala Harris stole 2 of his, Trump was out campaigning about no tax on tips. And he was out, everybody knows he talked about the border wall. And then the next thing you knew, Kamala Harris was talking about it on in her rallies. And she had stolen his idea, the whole policy platform. And those were just 2 policy platforms. I'm so tired. I was talking to a guy, a family friend the other day, single guy. And he was talking about how he loves Black women, but he has actually had to turn away from Black women and he's actually going to Thailand to meet.
Oh, he passport bro right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it, but he can't find a Black woman that's feminine. He can't find a Black woman that is not yapping back at him every 2 minutes, that's not out here hoeing around. He can't find it. And this is a nice looking guy. He's got a great job. But we have pushed this whole Black women in general, and especially leftist Black women. Fellas, if you're single, you need to find yourself a conservative Black woman. These leftist Black women, they're just terrible. They're terrible. And they're raising our girls to be the same. They're feminizing our boys. And it's this Angela's Yee show. Tell me if I'm going too far.
No, you're not going too far. Nothing's too far on the show.
Show. I mean, she has on there people like Sexy Red, and all they do is talk about how many guys they can sleep with. She sprinkles a little bit of politics in there, and in the politics she talks about has no credibility, nothing to do with any type of data. They just throw out these accusations and things and have nothing to back it up with. It's just really sad where our community is going going to. It's really.
Yeah. Ryan, can I add? You asked, was this going to hurt? I think you asked, was it going to hurt Black people or Black children?
Yeah, like when
that,
women, when
that kind of.
exactly when other Black women see that, like, could that potentially be harmful?
Yes, I think it will. And let me say this. I think it's pretty much only going to hurt Black women because guess what? The rest of the world, the other ethnicities are going on. They're trying to build for their families or themselves. They're trying to get jobs and skills and get their children educated. They're trying to save money and maybe reduce their taxes. They're actually trying to do things that need to be done in order for them to have a productive and successful life. Black women who listen to the likes of Wendy and Angela are going to be in this mindset. Their mindset is going to be stuck, if you will, in a time period that does them no good, that we have long since come out of by and large, except again for the individual instances where we may encounter a racist person or a racist incident. Deal with it at that time. But what the Angela Yees and the Wendy Osefos of the world are doing, they are harming and stifling Black women, the same Black women that they believe that they are promoting and putting on a pedestal, if you will, to promote and be successful. But guess what? It's the same thinking or the same policies, the same mechanisms that the Democratic Party uses to hurt the people that they purport to protect. Black people, by and large. It's not working.